My hair is a little bit flat because I just came out of the shower. This episode is also unscripted, so there's going to be a lot of jump cuts. I'm sorry in advance. So I wanted to make this video to address a couple of different things, and they sound like two very different things, but in this video they are going to come together into one thing. Usually I just play YouTube videos in the background while I'm working at my drafting table because I work out of a studio that I have at home. And there were two videos of note that I saw recently. One being a video talking about, and I'm not going to link to this one because it's not really worth watching, but it was a video talking about the failure that was DashCon and Tessa Violet's video about makeup. And that one updated fairly recently, but I'm going to have a link to that video in the notes down below, not in my pants. I want to talk about the first video, the one about DashCon, because like I was with the video and it was talking about DashCon and the absolute failure that it was throughout its like 3 or 4 day programming schedule. But then, about midway through this video, the announcer who's been narrating this entire thing suddenly says, "Now brace yourselves, there's high quality autism ahead here." And I just went, and I'll get to that. The other video was a Tessa Violet video in which she talks about some of the things that might be wrong with other people saying, "I really like you" without makeup. Or, you know, strangers being like, "I really like your look" without makeup. And the video does get into a lot of discourse about, how do I phrase this? Makeup in women's circles nowadays is being discussed as like this empowering thing because it enables you to be the best looking you and blah, 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 blah. So here's the thing, and this is why I'm making this video. Because being an autistic kid that does not wear makeup, I feel like this is important to say. Because for one thing, autism is not just staring off into space or having poor social skills. There is a lot more to autism than that. It is also your brain misfiring whenever you are touching certain textures and surfaces because it is your brain not knowing what to do with that kind of sensory input. Case in point, me with makeup. So, being a female-bodied person, I have often been told that, you know, wearing makeup is just something that I should be doing because as a female-bodied person, it's just what female-bodied people do. Or there were a couple of times where people put me into makeup anyway because it was like a special event or there was a dance going on or blah, 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 blah. And every single time I would be squeamish because makeup has this particular effect on my brain where if I look at it, I'm fine. But if I touch it, if my fingers get in contact with like foundation or lipstick or, God forbid, eyeshadow or eyeliner, my brain just goes beep, 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 back away, back away, back away, back away, wide load reversing, nope, 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 nope. Nope! This should not go on my face. This is a weird and unhealthy thing to put on the face. Why is this being directed towards my face? My face does not need these things. It's kind of the same reaction that I get whenever I touch particular kinds of plastics, especially whatever synthetic plastic is used for watches that you put on your wrist. There's this like jelly watch that has like this jelly like plastic synthetic thing, and it freaks me the fuck out because plastic should not feel like that. But that's my autistic brain being like, plastic doesn't feel like this, or this shouldn't be on my face because my face doesn't feel like this naturally. It's also the same thing that makes me kind of freak out with particular kinds of wigs. If there's a wig made with synthetic hairs and it's very obvious synthetic hairs, like you touch it and it just feels like plastic, my brain's like, oh, this is a wig. Okay, I can put this on my head. But if it's made with like human hairs or like a particular kind of synthetic that makes it feel like human hair, my brain is like, this needs to be on someone's head. Why is it not on someone's head? Was this peeled off of someone's head? And there's no logical explanation for why my brain does this. It just does these things. The only way for me to cope with it is to either not touch these objects, or if I have to touch the objects, I have to brace myself. And I have to get myself used to the sensations in little increments at a time. I guess in summation, I get really annoyed whenever people just think that autism is just really poor social skills or staring off into space, because they don't get what it's like to have sensory overload or to not touch certain substances because it just makes you panic. I'm sure that there's some kind of a neurological science explanation to it, but I haven't heard it yet. And nobody knows why autism is a thing, despite what PETA and well-meaning and well-intentioned moms tell you. And there's still not a lot of people that know how to cope with what autism is, as is obvious by the fact that so many people make jokes about it and yet don't grasp what it actually is. But I'm gonna end that there, or else I'm just gonna go off into tangents all night. Thank you for watching. You are awesome.